Good morning, Bitcoin miners. Welcome to another episode of the Build a Mine podcast. I am your host, Trevor. I'm here with my co-host, Will. Today, we have a fun, exciting, and interesting episode for you. We're here with Dirt. Dirt owns 100 Acres Ranch, and 100 Acres Ranch is, well, it's 100 Acres Ranch, and he basically is building all kinds of crazy, just out-of-the-box stuff for guerrilla off-grid mining. He's built a bunch of different products, and we want to kind of showcase this stuff. He's living a different kind of lifestyle than a lot of other people, and it's really cool to see all the different types of people that come to Bitcoin for what reasons and why. With that being said, we're gonna get into the episode, but before we do that, let's do a little quick ad read. So we're gonna come over here, share my screen. Will,
there you go.
All you.
Yeah. So everybody, this podcast was brought to you by the Mastermind Club, the best way for aspiring and existing miners to gain a greater foothold in the world of Bitcoin mining. Join the supportive community of like-minded individuals who meet weekly. They share insights, exchange ideas, encourage each other, and provide feedback on their exhilarating journey of Bitcoin mining. These sessions are led by seasoned pros and avid Bitcoiners. And the sessions take place once a week and offer a space to brainstorm innovative strategies, help you stay motivated towards your goals, large or small. And every week we hold accountability sessions to keep you on track. As a member of the Mastermind Club, you'll gain access to our monthly deep dive sessions where we dive into a wide range of technical topics with special guests such as heat management, site optimization, electrical infrastructure, and so much more. Don't worry, as a member, you can catch up on all of the backlog of deep dives so you can stay up to speed with the rest of the group and acquire the knowledge and skills you need to navigate the complexities of Bitcoin mining operations with confidence and ease. What is it that sets us apart? Well, in addition to our group dynamic value add, our members get personalized one-on-one sessions with Bitcoin Mining World's team members, industry veterans ready to offer tailored guidance and support for you and your project. Plus, you'll get the opportunity to connect directly with Scott Offord himself. Our members get privileged access to pre-sales and minimum order quantities for equipment from Bitcoin Mining World, and you can secure your place in the ever-evolving world of Bitcoin mining with insider opportunities reserved exclusively for our club members. So whether you're a budding enthusiast or eager to explore the world of Bitcoin mining, or you're a veteran miner seeking to expand your operation and stay ahead of the curve, the Mastermind Club is your partner for success. So join the Mastermind Club today and let us help you on your Bitcoin mining journey. Go to bitcoinminingworld.com and learn more, or scan the QR code on your screen now, and we get back to the show. Take it away, Trev.
We are back. Well, that was great. I just want to say real quick, the Mastermind Club has, and even though I'm part of it, I help run it. The Mastermind Club has been something that's helped me as a beginning miner, a new coiner, you could say, to really understand more of the Bitcoin mining space, what's capable, what's allowable technically, which is everything. I mean, if you can think it, you can dream it, it can be done, as we're going to showcase a little bit here in this episode with Dirt today. So I just want to implore everybody, like, hey, if you don't know what you're doing, if you want to get your foot in the door, join the Mastermind Club. Join it for a month, join it for a couple of weeks, just try it out, see what you think about it. So, but yeah, no, Will, today's going to be a really great episode. I'm really excited about it. One of my favorite things about what we're doing here on the podcast is we get to talk with people who are building crazy shit, and that is literally the definition of the episode today, building crazy shit. So Dirt has built some crazy stuff. He's built, this wind kill turbine. He's built solar DC hash boxes. There's a story of him driving his SUV cross country with his miner in the back running. So, we're going to hear a lot about that stuff. I guess let's just bring him up right now. Dirt. Welcome to the Build a Mine podcast. You're back.
Here we go.
Here.
Right
into it.
Yeah. Put the pressure on me, guys. Thanks. Scott's Crypto Mining Conference. It's probably the only conference that's worthwhile going to, because it's people like me that would show up that are like, yo, check out this cool ass shit that I built, and you're like, holy fuck, man, blow my fucking mind. The other ones are fiat based conferences. Why would you go to a fiat based conference when you can go to a conference where it's a bunch of cool shit by a bunch of cool ass people that build it? Sure, you want like You want to, yeah, sure, you want to go act like a frat boy at the Pacific Bitcoin conference. Guess what, guys? It's been fucking canceled because they're broke as shit and they had to shut it all down. Fire everybody. Shut it all down. Go to Scott's crypto mining conference. There you go. I fixed it
Boom.
for you. How about that?
Hey,
That's a killer.
he did the second ad read halfway that we do halfway through. He did it back to back. He did it better than we could do it. You want to just come on and do our ads for us, bro?
Yes.
Bro, it's there's a thing about me is, first of all, you can't pay me enough, and second of all, I don't give a shit about your money. And that's the real problem that I have.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. But honestly,
shit.
so let's kind of roll this off. Let's start talking a little bit about your Bitcoin history. You know, when did you find Bitcoin? You told me that you've been mining for like 8 years. Did you find Bitcoin
Right.
before that, or was it kind of around the same time that you started Bitcoin mining
No,
on
I
Bitcoin?
I did find Bitcoin before that was Silk Road type shit,
Okay.
but I never had the courage to buy drugs and have them shipped to me in the mail. So I never bought it then. And then other people told me about it after that, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like a scam. And then I found it, and I was like, oh, so I'll try it. So I had my computer, and I set it up to mine Bitcoin. I was like, holy shit, this thing actually is bringing in some money. Because before you learn about Bitcoin, it's all just a revenue thing to you. You're like, oh shit, free money, you know? And then after you get the free money for a bit, people are like, well, how do you make money? You're like, I don't know. I think I'm getting paid from China or something. And then you actually take the time to learn about it, and you say, well, shit, it's not only about the money anymore to me. It's about the change that this can bring
Mm-hmm.
in the whole scenario.
You come for number, go up. You stay for the fundamentals, kind of thing.
Right. You stay for the change. You stay for the change.
Yeah. So when you
So,
started Bitcoin mining, you started mining on your computer, it sounds like. Was this back in the
right.
GPU era or the
20,
CPU era?
2015 CPU era.
Okay.
In 2015, I was able to mine with my CPU. Wasn't much, and I had my GPUs and shit too. But 2015, 2016, around that time, I think it was 2016 where I just finally said, "Fuck it, I'm going all in." Cleaned out my safe, bought as many S9s as I get my hands on, and that was it. I had 4 S9s. They were making $100 a day, and
Damn.
I was like, "Holy shit!" I said, okay. I said, boom. Next thing I know, I had 40, 50 S9s. I had 40 S9s, and I had 10 L3s running in my parents' basement. My
Nice.
dad would come home from work, and he'd be like, why the fuck do I got to sweat in my own house? And I was like, you don't understand, Pop. This is good. We need this.
I'm making money, man.
I was like, I'm making money, but think of this. You know how the bank is closed down right now? I can send you some shit right now. And he's like, oh, you're fucking crazy. Like, like, oh shit. But that's kind of how I got started in it. And like I said, you come for the number go up, you stay for the change
Yeah.
that will inevitably happen. I know everybody that ever listens to this, even you guys, everybody has been pissed off by the bank at one point in time. Why is it that if I buy something and you refund me, I have to wait a week for you to give me my fucking money back? What's going on here? You take
Dude,
it right away.
let alone wait, talk about like just like the last major holiday that we had. I got paid on a Friday. The holiday was on a Friday. Dude, I couldn't access my paycheck for 5 days. I didn't access my paycheck till the next Tuesday. I was like, I need my money. I need to pay my damn bills. What the hell?
Right.
Yeah, the
So
bank troubles are one of the easiest ways people kind of get exposed to like the problems with the existing system, and then some of them, maybe, I don't know, it takes some courage to go any deeper than that, but there's a number of things, even layers deeper than just the banks, about how things work with finances, money, monetary policy, government, that'll really upset you if you start looking at it and asking questions. And I see this meme going around a lot these days, which I think the first time I saw it was, I don't know, years ago, 10 years ago. And it wasn't really, I don't know, memes were around, but they were very different 10 years ago. But the meme is showing up so much lately, and it's something like, why am I paying taxes if they're just going to print more money. Like
Yeah.
there's variations on that sort of theme. But yeah, Dirt, did you encounter anything beyond just bank troubles and being pinched by bank policies that upset you and led you to Bitcoin? Like anything deeper than that?
I mean, honestly, it was so Bitcoin is so you're taking the bank and you're also taking the cash aspect of things. So sure, the banks piss you off, but so does, I mean, you can't tell me that you go into the grocery store and you go to pay with $100 bill and they're like, well, let me check to make sure it's real. And it doesn't piss you off. It's like, first of all, the bank gave me that fucking money, but you need to confirm that it's real when it's not fucking real because they're printing it out of thin air. So, so I mean, there's
It's
so
not
many.
even a real dollar. It's a federal banknote. That's what it is.
Right, right. I used to have, like, I collected those silver certificates and shit back in the day. And the interesting thing about them is it says payable in silver, or I forget, I think the reds were payable in gold or something. I forget. I didn't have the reds. I always collected the silvers. I used to like silver, man. I love silver. I still love silver, but it's just,
That's
if you,
that's another thing
right,
you notice about early Bitcoiners is they were gold bugs, silver bugs. They kind of understood sound money from the jump. And when Bitcoin showed up for them, they probably had to have, either enough autism or enough technical acumen to basically, understand it and be like, hey,
I
this
think,
is
I think if you hold silver nowadays, you're not holding silver because number go up. You're holding silver because, somebody's going to fucking buy this off of me and put it into a computer or something. That's why you're holding silver now. It's not number go up because people are going to use it as a like Bitcoin person to person transaction. You're holding it because somebody's going to buy this, melt it down, put it into a computer, put it into a cell phone, something like that. That's the
yeah.
only.
Yeah, you're buying it because it's got that, that durability, relative portability, and it's useful. Like if you know what hits the fan, then you've got an option, you know, um, to take care of yourself, your family, and kind of get through whatever crisis there may be. And that's interesting. I think that I'm curious what you think, Dirt, but like the psychology of a Bitcoin miner is very similar to that. Because if you just wanted to be a part of the Bitcoin revolution, you don't need to mine Bitcoin, but the folks who are gravitating to mining Bitcoin, they kind of want they want more than number go up. They want that durability, that robustness in the face of a crisis.
I
And
don't know, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Don't let anybody fool you. They they just want number go up. Most people just want number go up. If you look at a lot of the people in the entire space, they say, "Oh, this and that and this and that." Oh, I'm in it for the change. But then most of their posts and most of the things they say are, when Bitcoin goes to $1 million, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, man. It's not, there's a lot of number go up in it, and that's a lot of what people think of. And it takes, I mean, it took me probably 5 years in Bitcoin to even think about how I don't, first of all, you got to get to the point where you don't care about number go up.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
that takes a long fucking time because number has to go up for you to say, I don't really care about the money anymore. And it takes a long time for that to happen.
Well, I want to point out, just from my own personal perspective, because I agree with you, Dirt. It is about number go up. It's about what number go up can do for you. You know what I mean? If number goes
Right.
up, that means I can pay off bills, I can do all this other stuff. You're in kind of a different situation, and I'm sure number go up was kind of that thing for you to get you to the point where you are now. For myself, like I want number to go up, yes. But what I'm learning through like being in the Bitcoin space is all these fundamentals about sound money and lifestyle and like the way that you should treat yourself and others and all this other shit. And it kind of
Right.
like it culminates in me like living a different life than I was living
Right.
3 years
Right. So
ago.
so
So now
I've
my
always said, what the real problem is? So say you work at a job and you make X amount of dollars per day, per week, whatever. You live a certain lifestyle based off of that money. But
right.
then say you get a raise. Next thing you know, you're like, well, instead of eating steak, once a week, I'm going to eat it 3 times a week. So the money goes up, but your lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
And that is the problem of why people can't save anything. Because as
Lifestyle
soon as
creep.
they right, as soon as is that what it's called? Lifestyle
That's what it's
creep?
called. Lifestyle
Is
creep.
it's it? Because as soon as you get a little extra money, you're like, well, you know what? I deserve to live like this. Instead
Yeah.
of driving this old Toyota Camry, let me go get a newer car. Let me so you're constantly chasing that dream that doesn't even exist. It's not really your dream. It's just you think that you're living a better lifestyle if you eat steak 5, 6 times a week. Now there's the whole carnivore thing, and that's completely separate. But I'm using it as a reference because steak is
Yeah.
expensive as fuck. You know what I mean? So you're
Steak is the rich man's meat.
it is. So you're constantly, I shouldn't use that as a reference because people are going to rip me up about it. But there is that constant chase of, you think you're chasing the dream. What are you chasing, bro? You're chasing the fiat dream. It's a
Yeah.
fiat dream. It doesn't affect you in any way. And why are you better off now making an extra dollar per hour than you were before? When you made, you're still the same person, you're still living the same deal, but you think that you make $1 extra an hour, so you're gonna go out and you know what? Actually, I'm gonna eat shrimp this week. Could never afford to eat shrimp twice a week, but I'm gonna eat that shrimp. I mean, it's just, you guys are gonna think that I'm hungry and starving out here talking about all this food. But
No, I
it's
hear what you're saying.
the same thing,
It's this fiat lifestyle, this lifestyle creep, keeping up with the Joneses, all that stuff. It starts
right?
to change when you start to understand, like not just getting into Bitcoin. Anybody can get into Bitcoin and start trading it and buying it and holding it, all this stuff. But it's when you start understanding the fundamentals of Bitcoin, you start to think about your life differently. You have that short time or low time preference kind of style, and you're kind of like trying to project out into the future. So now it's like, okay, well, I got that extra dollar. What am I going to do with that extra dollar? Oh, I'm going to store it away in something that can't be stolen from me. I'm going to store it away in
Exactly.
Bitcoin
Right.
because 10 years from now, that dollar is going to be worth, $4, and I'll be able to do this with my life instead of I need the new Camry, I need the new computer, I need the new house, the bigger boat, like all this stuff. So I totally see where you're going with it. And I think that people just need to be mindful of their lifestyle and like what they actually want instead of like, oh, Betty over here just got a brand new SUV, so now I need to go get a brand new SUV. But oh, I can't afford it, so I need to work harder.
The best way to think about it is, so you're putting your money into something, you said, like you just said, oh, it'll be 4x in the future, number go up, right?
Yeah,
See,
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
everybody fucking goes, the number go up. So the best way to think about it is, right? So instead of improving my lifestyle now, in 5 to 10 years, I'm going to save up for that big ticket item. Do you remember being a kid? Maybe you got some money from mowing some grass or doing some kind of work or something. And instead of spending that money right on the spot, if you just held that money, next thing you know, you were 16 years old with a baller ass whip, and
Yeah.
that's the real number go up. The number go up is to hold it in a savings situation, and that savings situation is Bitcoin because you're going to hold your money into that. Sure, number might go up. Don't get too excited if it doesn't. We might be at 58K in 10 fucking years from now.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you
so
just
don't get-
I think you're nailing it because like this number go up meme, it's a powerful meme, right? Plays on the human greed, and Bitcoin as a network, in order for it to grow, kind of needs to feed off of that greed. But when you say number go up, the number that's being referred to is the dollar value, the fiat value of a Bitcoin. But the real number go up is like what you said, it's a savings technology, it's a tool for savings. And the number that you want to go up is the sats. You
right.
want to save more and more sats because, I think it was Andreas Antonopoulos who first started this meme, but, people come to Bitcoin because they think it's a get rich quick scheme, and it gets criticized for that, and some people might time things correctly, and the outcome sort of reinforces that idea if their timing was good. But it's not a get rich quick thing, it's a get poor slow thing, right? It's
Yeah.
only if you're mining Bitcoin. you're mining Bitcoin, you're going to be poor forever because you're supporting the network.
Well, yeah, talk to us about that.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Shit.
Yeah, because like Bitcoin mining is challenging. I mean, Dirt, you probably don't know this, but I mentioned it on the podcast before, but I'm trying my darndest with a few partners, good friends of mine, to get a very small flare gas mining operation up and running in Wyoming. And we have anywhere from like 6 to 15 ASICs running at a given time. And that's
In
a
Wyoming?
small amount. Yeah. It's a
I
small
can't
amount
believe
of
we're not friends yet.
small amount of machines, and it's a kind of a wide range, but we can't get consistent gas pressure out of the well. There's generator problems, there's land right of way and usage problems with government agencies like Bureau of Land Management. There's so many hurdles and challenges, and we're still trying to figure it out. And so yeah, every day I see the clock ticking and I
Well,
realize
I actually have a prototype that I haven't been able to build yet because it just costs so much fucking money for me to build the prototype. Um, I've tested this on a small scale, 10 S9s, and it's for like flare gas mining. It'll use 1/3 of the fuel consumption of a standard setup. It's direct DC, 100%. Use 1/3 of the fuel consumption, so you're going to run 3 times as many units. Now the problem is, it's 100,000 for me to build this damn prototype,
mm,
and I got to run the prototype. I don't have flare gas right here where I'm at, so I need somebody that has flare gas. We've got to cooperate together. I've got to engineer this, build this, make it work. But there's a lot. The problem is everybody is so basic. Like, they're like, oh, you're a basic bitch. You're all a bunch of basic fucking bitches because you'll just go and plug it into the fucking wall. You'll put amp pool into it. You're like, yeah, amp pool controls like 40% of everything, but I'm gonna mine for those. You don't give a shit. Everybody is so basic, it's number go up. That's all it is. I'm gonna plug this in. I'm gonna get paid to plug this in. I don't care about the efficiency. I don't care about any of that. When Bitmain comes out with a newer, more efficient unit, then maybe I'll buy that. They don't even think about the efficiency. They don't think about the ROI. They don't think about any of it. And 8 fucking years ago, 2016 or something, I said to myself, I said, this would be perfect for the heat reuse. You could set these up as little heaters in people's houses. And I said, you know what? Everybody's going to do it. Everybody's going to do it. And here we are 8 years later, and it still isn't even a popular thing. So 8 years, I said to myself, well, everybody's going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to chase down something better, which is the efficiency and the price of things. So I created direct DC. I started direct DC in my S9s and shit. I had a solar array out back of my parents' house that, it eliminated the electricity cost of it. And I said, well, so that's what I worked on. And then come to, 8 years later, I say, fuck, man, people are building little plastic cases to put an S9 in, and they don't even have a temperature or thermostat on it or anything. And they're just, I mean, fucking Canon or Canon or they,
How do you say it? It doesn't matter. It's
yeah,
a cannon.
how do you say
Whatever.
it?
I know
Right,
how you say it, but it's like,
right. They just came out with that little piece of shit unit. It's like 3 or 4 terahash or whatever, and it doesn't even have a. Why doesn't that? I mean, it's beautiful. I love the shit out of it. I love it, right? But why doesn't it have a thermostat on it? Why the fuck?
I don't know, but tell me why it didn't come with a power cord.
It didn't even come with a power cord.
You
This is
have to
what
buy the power
this,
cord separately.
bro. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the number go up people are the fucking problem because they just produce. They will sell you a pile of shit. You remember the old movie Tommy Boy or whatever, where he's like, "Hey, you can stick your head in a bull's ass and find out if it's a good T-bone or not, but I'd rather take the butcher's word." And he's like, I could shit in a box and give it to you and tell you it's guaranteed, but it'd still be a guaranteed piece of shit. And I guarantee you, they're selling you a fucking piece of shit right now, and that's the problem because that is still the fiat-based mentality. I'm gonna sell you a guaranteed piece of shit. Why? It doesn't help you. It's because I'd like to put number go up in my pocket. It's a guaranteed piece of shit. And that is the fucking problem. And that is something Bitcoin fixes. And to me, I am honestly ashamed of the Bitcoin community because we say Bitcoin fixes this, but 8 years later, and we still don't have a proper Bitcoin heater. And that's why I created the thermo HashaStat. I needed it myself because I was tired of fucking with the heat for the Bitcoin in the winter. And I created that because, well, I mean, if you're paying for electric heat, I've just eliminated your electric costs. You might even profit off the shit if you got a good enough unit running for heat. And if not, minimum, you're saving 50% on your electrical costs. I mean, you're killing it.
I know you've gotten your hands dirty and built a bunch of different things, and I want to run down each of them and kind of get into the details. So the audience, we have a technical audience, relatively speaking. They're very curious DIY type folks. So hopefully you can dive in as to like your thought process, how you develop these products, and how they work, how you built them, and how you're bringing them to market. We want to go over all that, but before we do that, do you want to just call? I can tell it's kind of bubbling inside you. Maybe I'm wrong, but do you want to call out some of these number go up fiends who and the products that they've built that are absolute trash? Do you want to call any? Do you want to name some names? And
So I like people to make their own decisions on things, and unless you really bring it to my attention, are you really trying to say something to me about what I'm doing in comparison to what you're doing? I'm not gonna do that. I don't really like to, you know,
I think that's
everybody
the most
has,
reserved thing you've said on this show
yes,
the whole
everybody
time.
has a chance. You have a chance to save yourself in the whole situation. Don't don't fucking say that you're open source and you're doing something and then charge somebody 5x on what it costs for you to get 100 of these things printed up. I'm not going to call anybody out. I appreciate everybody. I think we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all make fucking mistakes. Every single one of you guys that's listening, Will, Trevor, you guys have made mistakes in your life. And you know what? You're better for it. So I don't want to call anybody out. People can make their own mistakes, and I appreciate everybody for who they are, but they're maybe they're doing it for a certain reason. Maybe these guys that are profiting hard as shit off of something are actually doing it to improve the situation of things. We don't know that yet because it takes time. You've got to collect that money. You've got to wait for number go up, and then you can just bam, you come in, you hit the shit hard as fuck, and everybody's like, "Holy shit!" Everybody's like, "Oh, oh," fucking, and then all of a sudden, that's cool. So I'm never gonna, unless somebody really puts me on the spot, I'm not gonna put them on the spot
All
unless
right,
they
we don't have to
really
call
fucking.
anybody out specifically,
yeah,
but they know who they are.
yeah,
They
I
know
didn't
who they are.
necessarily. I didn't necessarily mean individual names, but like product names is kind of what I was going for.
Bro,
But
that's the same thing because these products are all tied to certain people. It's
true.
it's
Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about products. Okay, so I saw a story on your Twitter about how you built the prototype for the direct DC hash box, and you drove across country in your SUV, hashing and mining Bitcoin. Tell us a little bit
right.
about this. Tell us how that product came to market, why you built it, and then the
So
story of you driving across country.
so I realized, like I said, I was like, oh, the heat thing, everybody's gonna do that. It's so basic. I mean, anybody can fucking do that. And I said, well, I'll do something different. I'll try and improve the efficiency on the units. And I came to the conclusion that the PSU is 15% loss to run the unit. And then so I said, well, okay. So I created the direct DC, and I realized there was no loss on that. It was free power, and then I could hybrid that to the grid. So essentially, I was cutting my electricity costs to run the unit in half because for 8 to 12 hours of the day, the unit would be powered by the sun. So I made my first prototype, it was like 2018. By 2019, I had configured it well enough And this is like the hash box nowadays, that hash box you get from me. You can hook that son of a bitch up to your car and drive across country just the same as I did because the power supply is so universal and the operation of it is so universal that it'll adapt itself to run for what you give it. Say you can't afford to run it at maximum, you know, or the recommended settings, you can put less than what you need to into it and it'll adapt to that and it'll run for that. Sure, the hash rate won't be as well as you would hope, but it'll be, it'll adapt to that. So I hooked that up. It was my first direct DC in the vehicle prototype, and I drove that here to Wyoming from Pennsylvania to look for this land. And I have a picture of me, I got here and I'm like, yeah, I say like I made it, and it ran but there were so many failures in between that time to get things to actually work properly. It's
Well, it's definitely an interesting story. I mean, I'm almost curious, like, why more people aren't doing something like that, hooking up this box or direct DC, whatever it is, whether it's their own prototype that they've made or, a product from you. Is why aren't more people doing this, driving across country? You see people hooking up the bit
there's
axes, throwing them in their
there's a lot
trucks
of
and stuff.
people there's a lot of people, like a lot of my customers, this is legitimate guerrilla Bitcoin mining. You can set
Yeah.
this shit up in the middle of anywhere and never tell anybody about it, and it'll run fully automated. You'll never have to fuck with it. Dude, I had one guy, he bought some shit from me, and I said, "Bro, it says your address ain't real." And he's like, "Don't worry about it, it'll show up." I
Don't
was like,
worry.
I was like, "All right, man, whatever." So I sent it, and it showed up. And I said, "Well, okay." Give me fake names and shit. It's like, and I don't really give a shit. I mean, because I know that you might want to be secretive about this. You might want to set it up, and I don't give a shit. That's not my problem. I It doesn't matter to me. I know how
Yeah.
you feel because this might not be the only site that I have, and I know
Yeah.
exactly how you feel because it's
There's definitely some cowboys in the Bitcoin world in general, and I find most of them gravitate to mining actually as well, which makes sense. It's one of the best ways to acquire Bitcoin without any KYC and all of that, and which is getting more onerous by the day, right? So
so. A
it's
lot of
certainly.
people, a lot of people talk about the revenue side of things, and originally pre-halving my hash box all in with everything, the solar, the batteries, the box, all of that was 2.2-year ROI. They would make $6 a day. Now, after the halving, it's about 5 years ROI. But the main thing is you're locking in that power generation for 15 to 20 years. And that's something that you really got to think of. You could set this up I mean, there's parts in the world right now where you could throw this out there and nobody would ever find it. You don't even have to own that land. You just throw the shit up out there, nobody ever find it. And that's something to think about because you're locking in that rate for 15 to 20 years. You're setting something up that could possibly run for 15 to 20 years. And say a newer gen unit comes out. Well, guess what, man? It's fully plug and play into the damn box as it is. And if there is something that needs to be updated, well, the software updates are free for life, man. DIY, open source. If I come out with something that improves the box, I'm not going to charge you for it because that's an asshole move. That's something assholes do. It's like, why don't I just charge you a monthly for fucking subscription for you to run your box that I sold you? Yeah, man, I need fucking 30% of everything you ever make forever just to buy my junk. I mean, fuck that.
That's the
So
Apple App Store.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's just an asshole move. It's like you've got so much money that you don't have. You own your land outright. You never have to pay. Your only bills are food and internet. But I'm going to charge you. You, the guy that's struggling. You're still working at Burger King. You're going to set this up in your parents' backyard. but I'm going to charge you 30% of everything you make. I personally would be a fucking asshole to take that from you. Like, so I just,
So
everything's cool.
the direct DC box is, what types of Bitcoin miners is that really geared for? Like what types of customers interested in mining can that help? And do you see are attracted most to that product?
So the hash box is a separate entity. That is, sure, you can hook a power inverter to it and you can run your house off of it or something like that if you have enough of them. But it's mainly directed for somebody that wants to really set up something and just let it run. Now you can say, like, say you're on a ranch and you have a well pump that waters cows and shit. You can use the power that it generates and the unit will regulate itself, turn on and off as it needs to, if you're using that power separately. That's that's one of the bonuses of it. And I'm running three of them right now, and I'm powering my camper, I'm powering my daily life. I use them for heat in the wintertime, shit like that. So, and they regulate themselves to the power I use. Say I get up and I make coffee in the morning. The unit will dynamically scale and dial itself down to provide me with that extra energy that I need. And then it'll dial itself back up to burn that energy. And this is how I have them set up. You can set the software up to run any way you want. You can do full burn. You can do, you know, you can set it up any way you want. This is just, the hash box is one of the things. And after I built the hash box, I said to myself, I said, well, there's people out there that have paid for solar setups 10 years ago on their house, and they can't, they don't have that option to go and set it up now. So I call it the grid terminator. And all that is it's a device where you can plug units into the fucking shit and it'll burn off the excess, or it'll fully burn all solar that comes in. So there's multiple ways that we can attack this. And you've got to think that solar panels from the beginning of time, since they've been created, have been, if you're not using the power, wasted. It just wastes it. It's an issue that's been since they've been created.
Right.
So is it automatically, like you're talking about, dumping the power or using the power? Is it automatically like overclocking these machines and underclocking these machines based on the power that you're using?
Right, right. This
Okay.
is dynamic scaling.
Okay.
So it fully adjusts the unit. So like a hash box, if you're running it on, so one of the modes that I have is efficiency mode. It tries to maximize the joules per terahash throughout the day. And generally it'll run from 60. And so I ran mine. I fucking, you know, I know how you are, man. I'm gonna tell you something, and you're gonna be like, well, he said 400 amps, but I'm gonna throw 450 at it. So I did that because I know you guys. I fucking know you guys. So I put 450 into it. So it would start up in the beginning of the day at 60 terahash. It would hash at 60 terahash. And then all of a sudden at noon, it's running at 150 terahash on a fucking J Pro, a 100 terahash J Pro, pumping 150, because there's no limitations. There is no limitations on this thing. You're not limited by the power supply. You're not limited on any of that shit. What you put in is what you can burn if you really want to. So, it'll dynamically scale. It'll go from 60 to I dialed that back now after the initial, let's see if these guys can catch this thing on fire and blow it up. So now I do 60 to 130 back to 60 at the end of the day. So you can set it how you want it to scale.
So how do I hook up my miner to it? Is it just like you pull the PSU off the miner? Let's say it's an S19. You pull the PSU off there, or PSU power. Yeah,
Right.
you pull that off there, and then you just plug it in like to the positive and negative terminals. How does this work?
Essentially, it's plug and play. So you
Okay.
mount, you hook the wires up, you hook it up in the box, you set it how you want it to run. So there's even I just recently did an update where you can do full customization of how it runs, and you set it how you want it to run. Now you can dial that in all day long, and you can set it. You can try and get the best. And I would love to see people show me the best that I've ever got was 17.8 joules a terahash, I think it was, on a J Pro. I would love to see people dial these things in and see what they can get because personally, I'm building shit and I'm creating shit. I don't have all the time in the world for that. So if you can show me something, I'd love to run my shit the same way.
For
So it's
sure.
just it's fully plug and play and it's fully automated. You plug it in, you set it how you want it to run, and fuck, you can just never look at it again. I know you're gonna look at it because I built it and I still love to look at it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, it's still running. Guess I'm gonna get drunk. I mean, what
Well,
else am I
it's a
gonna
pretty
do?
cool graphical interface as well. I mean, it all the pretty colors and stuff. I can understand you're 3 sheets to the wind. You're like, look how cool that thing looks, man.
Yeah. Well,
So it seems like the only limitation really to this is cooling the machines themselves. You know what I
right.
mean? Like you can't ramp it up to you can't ramp the 100 J Pros up to 150 if you can't cool the damn thing down first and foremost. So
I did 175 as my top on a J Pro.
okay,
175 terahash on a 100 terahash unit.
was that
So
an air cooled machine?
yeah, air cooled 100%. Now,
Okay.
now the 175 terahash by noon, it was overheating and I had to shut it down, dial it back. But it still ran for 2, 3 hours like that. And that unit is my prime pristine unit. That is the one that has been running and been getting beat for all the testing from the beginning of time. I mean, if this fucking thing lasts for another 2 years with all this beating and testing I'm doing on it, I'm gonna have to mount it on a plaque in my office or something like that. I'm gonna have to put it up and say, this is the one that really took everything. This unit itself helped me create everything that has been. What
That's
has
crazy.
been what is it?
Yeah.
What has been unburdened by what has been or something
What? Yeah. I don't even understand
it's,
that phrase. It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
But
it's been listen, that J Pro has been unburdened by what has been. It has been unburdened because I put it on a fucking plaque on my wall because of what has been.
It
all
worked
right,
so hard that you had to retire it.
it's been through so much shit.
You fucking deserve it. You fucking
Yeah.
deserve it. I have beat you so hard. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, this is usually the part of the show where I do the conference advertisement read, but you did such a great job in the beginning of the show. I'll make it brief, but yeah, I think honestly we got to use some clips of that, Trevor, going forward.
clip the beginning of the show just to do
Yeah.
the mining conference ad. I think that was one
Oh,
of the best
yeah.
ads for the mining conference we've done, and it wasn't
think
even
so.
us.
I need
Yeah.
like $3 every time you use that ad. I need
Yeah.
$3.
Well, Dirt, if you want to help me ad lib read through this one, feel free, chime in at any point. But this rip was brought to you by the Mining Conference. Go to theminingconference.com to check out more information and buy tickets. You can join us this fall in Brainerd, Minnesota, which is a beautiful, family-friendly vacation destination in the northern Midwest. Gorgeous time of year, September 27th through 29th to be there. And you'll be around a bunch of great mining personalities from the industry. You can gain exclusive insights, make valuable connections, grow your professional network, and explore the limitless potential of the field of Bitcoin mining. There will be builders from all over in attendance, and we've got some great speakers lined up, some great sponsors lined up. And one other thing we're doing is we normally have a Build a Mine boot camp a couple times a year here in Wisconsin, but we're going to condense that program and do a one-day Build a Mine crash course the day before the conference. So that would be September 26th. You can buy tickets to that in addition to the conference and come and get the condensed format of the Build a Mine crash course boot camp on that day. And that's a great opportunity to take your mining game to the next level. We give a ton of great tools, resources, insights to existing miners or brand new miners who are just starting their businesses. So mark your calendars, secure your spot, go get your tickets at theminingconference.com, and let's build the future of Bitcoin mining together. And we hope to see you there. Go to theminingconference.com and bitcoinminingworld.com to learn more.
See, that was just way too long, Will. I like Dirt's better.
I liked his better too. I can't
honestly,
do
bro,
it any better than him.
how did you not talk about? I mean, listen, if I go to that place, you better come find me at the gun range because that's where I'll be. I'll be at the archery and gun range. And if you don't have the extra, if it's $100, I mean, shit, bro. If you're me, you're gonna shoot way more than $100 in ammo because you're just gonna go, "Gah, gah, 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 gah," and you're gonna clip dump the whole fuck. You're just gonna clip dump way more than $100 in ammo. That's where you would find me at that conference. Is at the clip,
We're gonna see
the
Dirt
clip
coming.
dump
We're gonna be like, hey,
range.
hey, 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 reduce the amount of ammo that's in his little area.
Yeah,
We need to unburden him from what has been with
yes.
those shells.
Unburdened.
Uh,
Shit.
oh man,
Oh man, this turned out to be a great rip, guys. Really appreciate you guys
dude,
having me on and shit. We gotta talk
absolutely.
about the thermostat. We gotta talk about the thermostat.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Talk
Hey
about
Trevor,
the
why don't
thermos.
you pull up the website so we can kind of show some of these
Yes.
products that as Dirt is describing them, talking about them. I think that'd be
He
great.
doesn't
I
have
have
a
to
whole lot
update.
of. He doesn't have a
Right.
bunch of pictures on there, but I'll do what
Yeah.
I can. I'll do what I
I
can.
have to update the pictures and stuff that are on there.
Yeah, he's only got
Kind of
these pictures
just
here.
somebody messaged me and they're like, "Yeah, the website's down." I was like, "Fuck!" So I went on there and slapped it back together real quick. Um, you know, so
Nice.
the thermo HashaStat, it'll regulate and dial your units in. It's you can get there's multiple versions of it. There's the one that you control on your computer or you control it on your phone with any browser. And then there is this is that's the hash box. But shit, I guess I don't even have any thermostat pictures on there. But you can find them on my page on my Twitter. Right up at the top, there's a video of the thermo HashaStat, the touchscreen. So it's a touchscreen that you can mount it to your wall like a regular thermostat, and you
It's
can
finally
hook up,
done.
Yep.
and you can just mount it to your wall, and it'll operate like a regular thermostat. You hook your units up to your HVAC or something like that,
It's finally
and,
done.
and there you go. No, go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it.
Oh, all right, all right. I'm playing it.
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Thermo
Can
HashaStat.
you guys hear that?
Temperatures in 3 different zones. You can control them all from the touchscreen, from your computer, from your phone, whatever you want. You got the advanced view. We'll show the specs and the operation of 5 different units. Can be any different unit, all Bitmain units with Luxor firmware. Afterburner, circulate the heat, pump it around, kicks the fans to 100%, overclocks the unit to punch out maximum heat.
There you go.
I built this shit. I love the fuck out of it. I
Yeah.
built it because I needed it, man. I was tired. People are like, "Yeah, I just opened my window up. I just open my window up when it gets kind of hot." I got tired of doing shit like that. I mean, after all these fucking years, like I said, 8 fucking years ago, I said, "Oh, everybody's gonna come out with a heater because it's the most obvious thing." But what do you got? No, you got a bunch of assholes that are running 10,000 units and they're just blowing them off into the atmosphere. Nobody's heating their house. I mean,
Well, I wanna talk about that a little bit now. We showed people the HashaStat. How okay, so as a pleb miner myself, I'm looking for ways to build an integrated heat system into my own home to, however I do it, whether it's air cooled, immersion, doesn't matter right now. How does the HashaStat work for me in my home? Do I just put it somewhere on a wall, hook it up to my
right,
miners, whether they're in immersion, whether they're air cooled, and just set the temperature settings to where I want it, and it just kind of just goes?
right, right. So it's essentially everything I'm gonna build is gonna be retard proof, fully
I
plug
like
and play.
that.
Fully plug and play. I mean, listen, man, not everybody is, you might not know how to operate the shit. Like the units, all that. I mean, it's kind of tough to learn this stuff, and you have to learn it slowly to figure it out. So anything I build is fully plug and play. So you can wherever you put that HashaStat, and then there's a stage setup. So you have 3 temperature zone control. So you can plug units in. Say you plug some units in your living room, you plug some units in your bedroom, you put some in your kid's bedroom, and there's 3 different zones there, and you can dial those zones in exactly the way that you want. So say you want your living room to be 85 degrees. You want your bedroom to be 65 degrees. You can dial that in 100%. It's super easy. You just go on the touch screen or you go on your phone or your computer. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been laying here in bed and I'm like, yeah, I'd like it to be a little cooler. And I go, and I just boom. Next thing I know, it's nice and cool in here. I didn't have to get up. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to go and log into the unit, turn it down, wake up cold later on. That's the thing. It always pissed me off is I would set it and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's nice and cozy in here, and I'd cuddle up in my blanket and I'd go to sleep. And then I wake up cold as fuck later on in the night. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. And I got to get on my phone and turn shit back up. And now with the HashaStat, I'm like, I would like it to be 70 degrees right now. I wake up later on, it gets cold as fuck at night out here, negative 30 and shit. I wake up, it's still 70 degrees in here. And I mean, I'm in a camper. I'm poor. I'm fucking poor. I'm a Bitcoin miner. I'm always going to be poor
I've got
because I'm securing the network for you assholes that are like, number go up, number go up. That's me securing the network for you to say number go up. Go fuck yourself and get your life together, bro. Gather all your shit up, put it in a really nice pile, and get your fucking life together and realize that Bitcoin fixes this shit that you're just number go up, you know? Fucking
oh man,
savages.
I have to be
Fucking
honest.
savages.
I have to be honest. This is one of the funnest episodes that we've done so far. Just the real honestness of everything. Fuck you guys, you number go up assholes.
Oh shit. Fucking
Oh,
savages.
I get sick of
Savages.
it too sometimes,
what's
You
that,
say,
Will?
Bill?
I get sick of the greed and number go up approach all the time,
Right.
often too. It's
Well, you've been here for a while, right?
yeah, but, for sure. And again, it's brought a lot of value to my life in the ways that you're describing, Dirt, like, just teaching you about what's really important and like Trevor said early on in the show, like how to spend your time more efficiently, more appropriately in ways that actually bring value to your life and not just to your Bitcoin wallet or your bank account or whatever. So that's really what it's about. And I think people naturally come to that realization after a certain period of time, right? They spend enough time in the space, they figure that out. You said that earlier. It takes people some time to figure that out. But I think when you get your hands on the process of network security and Bitcoin creation, and then it I think it accelerates that process. So that's one of the reasons I really love to promote Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, I see Bitcoin mining. I mean, while we're on this topic, I see Bitcoin mining as just like a way for people to like live a more comfortable, more meaningful life. I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I've never said that people are going to be rich mining Bitcoin. I just think implementing Bitcoin like heat reuse is going to allow you to not fucking stress so much about like everything that's happening and maybe live a better quality life at the same time, like you think about it. You heat your pool with a Bitcoin miner. Okay, cool. You've got enough money to have a pool. You got a pool, bro. Like, but now you're not paying to heat that pool. So it really only fits into certain people's lives. Like, I don't have a pool. I don't have a hot tub. I'm not going to go spend $8,000 on a hot tub right now. It's not happening. But if I did, I'd rather heat it with a Bitcoin miner instead of paying for the electricity to heat the pool.
Right.
That's what I see it being. And I think that everybody should come at it looking at it from their own perspective, where their life kind of meets the Bitcoin mining world and how it can apply to them. It's different for everybody. Everybody's situation is different. I mean, Dirt, you live on a 100-acre ranch in a trailer park in your trailer, but you're living your best life, man. Like you've got 80 feet or 80-foot rows of solar panels, heating your home. It's freedom. Exactly. You don't need
people are like, oh, isn't that kind of rough? And I'm like, so what I usually do is I'll just kick the door open and I'll go, ga, 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 and shoot my AK off. And I'll be like, I don't know, you ever got this kind of freedom? Can you go outside and shoot your AK off? Can you do anything like that? Do you have,
Fuck no.
I mean, it's like before I came here, one of the other reasons that I came here was because, so I said I had the 40 S9s running in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
And I was killing it back then. And I said, well, I'm gonna go buy this land. I'm gonna do this off-grid shit. I was already working on the DC. And I said, okay, I spent 2 months out here. I said, well, when I go back, my electric bill is usually 5,000 a month. I'm gonna give them 10 grand. I got back and they were like, well, we changed your rate from 4.5 cents to 14.5 cents. We need you to shut down. And I was like, what? Like, fuck you. So that's, you have to understand that unless you're your own energy supplier,
Yeah.
you can be shut down at any point in time. Your house is hooked up to a grid. If they want to shut it down, they're going to fucking shut it down. If the say a lightning bolt strikes a power cord outside your house or something, they can come and fix that whenever the fuck they want, and you're still going to owe them money. You have to be fully self-sustained. And I'm really working on the hard part of that. The easy part is setting up solar panels and windmills. That is the easy part. The hard part is the food. The food is the hardest part. That is something you're gonna need to realize. Growing vegetables, it takes a lot of work to grow a couple fucking tomatoes. I mean, it takes a lot of work to grow a couple fucking tomatoes, bro. Shit. The food is the hardest aspect of things. Not everybody can raise some cows up in their yard.
Yeah.
And then the amount of water that them cows drink, the amount of food that they eat, not everybody can do that. I just got 50 meat bird chickens. And I thought maybe it'd be easy, I can free range them out there. Bro, these things are eating and drinking so much that I don't even know if I can wait 2 months to eat them because they're going to eat me if I wait long enough because I'm going to run out of fucking food. I'm going to run out of money and food to feed them. I mean, like,
Damn.
so a lot of people don't realize that. And I would love to say this. I got into the whole, I've been thinking about the gardening thing and I've been doing that. And, but it came down to I got some food from Walmart, right? I got a bag of chicken meat and I got the chicken meat and there was a couple chicken breasts in there that just didn't seem right. The cats wouldn't eat it. The dog wouldn't eat it. And I
Really?
said, there's something wrong with this. I mean, you look at it, bro, and it looked like it was the lab grown shit. I guarantee it was the lab grown shit. And that's why I said, well, I'm gonna go buy the chickens. I bought the chickens, and I'm gonna go through it, find out.
Yeah, I personally, I got a buddy who they do the farming, they do the ranch. Like they've got a small piece of property. They got probably like 60 chickens out there, and I just go out to him. I'm like, yo, let me give you some Bitcoin, give me some eggs, give me some chicken. Like I'm not gonna raise the chicken. I'm dumb. I'm dumb as shit. Okay, so like, also I'm kind of lazy. So at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not going out there to raise chickens. I'm not raising cows. Like I might grow some tomatoes. Like that's whatever. You put some dirt in the ground, you seeds, water it once in a while. I can do that.
It sounds easy, right? Yeah,
it sounds easy. But I'm probably wrong.
Easy.
I said I'm dumb as shit, man. Like
you got to protect those things from animals that want to eat them before they're ready to fruit. You got to make sure that you got to weed like every day.
I couldn't even grow a pot plant, man. Like I probably couldn't grow tomatoes either. Jeez. Honestly.
Oh, you're wrecked, man.
Like guys,
you gotta change the name of the interview to Trevor just totally trashes his own self. Can't do anything, man. Can't even wipe my ass when I take a shit.
I can't, man. It's just I don't know how the toilet paper works. Do you roll it off this way? Do you roll it off that way? Like I don't know.
You're always busting through when I wipe my ass. Shit.
Okay, guys, I'm not that dumb. I'm not that. I did graduate. I barely, but I did. It happened. No, this was fun. This was a really fun episode.
It's
We
been
didn't
a
even
great
get
time,
into
man. It's
half
been
the
a great
shit I
time.
wanted to talk about. Like,
Well,
we're gonna have
we
to
can
have
always
you
do a
come on
second
again.
one.
Yeah,
We can
we'll
do
have
a
to have you
second
back
one.
for sure. And just, I would love to get into more stories of like, the ideation process and the build process for these prototypes of these different devices, and then help you
Okay.
sell them. Because I love that there's tinkerers out there like you who are trying to bring products to market that can help a lot of people and solve, all these
That's the
different
whole
pain
thing. That's
points
the whole
miners
thing.
experience. So we got to
Right.
dig into the nitty gritty of that, as well as have some more fun on round 2 with you as soon as you're able to do it. But Trevor has some
Yeah,
pretty fun questions
I
to
got
kind
a
of.
question. I got a question for you. And I ask everybody this question, and I don't let you know what the question is because I want your honest, like off the
Okay.
bat
All right.
answer. And you kind of
Trying it.
already answered it a little bit, but
Okay. Let's go.
tell me, what does Bitcoin mean to you?
Uh, Honestly, to me, it means freedom, and it means so like I was saying earlier about how most people are trapped down and they're locked into that fiat fucking slavery system. To me, it means freedom, and it means the change in the world that we all need. Everybody needs Bitcoin because we need the change in the world to fix the things that are fucked up, because the fiat system has gotten so out of control. And my only fear about Bitcoin is that before the regular people find Bitcoin, the corporate assholes are going to figure it out. We got MicroStrategy, corporate asshole. I mean, listen, guys, I'm real sorry that I told you your best friend, Michael
Hey,
Saylor, is a
I,
corporate
I
asshole.
don't simp
He's a
for
fucking
Sailor.
corporate asshole.
I don't
You know,
simp for Sailor.
so we got these corporate assholes, the ETFs and shit. They're starting to figure it out. But what we really need is the regular general public to figure it out first. Otherwise, Bitcoin doesn't fix this, because you get those corporate assholes that are in the number go up, and then they manipulate the fuck out of it until we all just get tired of it.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of have a similar fear. Is like, you talk about all the people, the regular people getting into Bitcoin. It's like more people are getting onto Bitcoin, but they're not understanding the fundamentals. And because they're not understanding the fundamentals, all they care about is number go up. Like,
It takes a
honestly,
while, man. It takes
it
a
does.
while.
But even though it takes a while for most people who are in Bitcoin, there's still that large subset of people who don't give two shits about the fundamentals of Bitcoin. They just know that they own it. You know what I mean? They're not Bitcoiners. They're just in it for number go up completely and solely. And until those
Everybody,
people, and
I'm gonna close out on this, right? So we're gonna close out on this. What do all of us want? Everybody in the whole entire world, we all are the same. We want the same things. We want happiness, we want freedom, and we want the security to know that we can eat and live every day. That is what we want. That is why the majority of people want number go up, because it gives them that sense of freedom. I'm not going to have to worry about money anymore. My family is going to be able to eat and live and survive. That is, we're all the same. We all want the same thing. And the reason we want that financial freedom is because it gives us the freedom that we really want, the freedom to just live. And everybody wants to just live. You want to survive and you want to be happy. And that takes money. So that's why they want number go up. You want number go up because you just want to live. We're all the same in that aspect of things.
yeah, you're not wrong. I just
It's
I
100%.
do hope that more people start to care more about the fundamentals, because without the fundamentals, the number's not going up.
Well, if you got a guy that's fucking delivering pizzas, he's never going to care about the fundamentals because he's out there delivering fucking pizzas, and
You're
he's
right.
not even barely. He's like, maybe he smokes a little weed or something. He's like, well, I can't even barely afford to fucking buy weed because this asshole here, I delivered him some pizzas. He didn't tip me, and it goes down. It's a chain of things. The guy that you delivered the pizzas to didn't have the money to tip you for the delivery that you needed to survive. So it's a chain of things. It is a fiat chain of things. And we say Bitcoin fixes this. Bitcoin fixes this in the way of number go up. The guy that you deliver the pizzas to, he pays you in Bitcoin. And you say, well, the Bitcoin ain't going to buy my weed right now, but maybe in a year or so, it'll buy me 10 times the amount of weed. So it's, I can do so many examples of this. We talked about food earlier. Now we're talking about pizza delivery, weed boy. I mean, there is so much that we can. There's so many examples, but it all comes down to the same thing. We all need to survive, and we do what we can to survive. Some people work 2 to 3 jobs, and they still can't fucking survive.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. Bitcoin fixes this, but Bitcoin doesn't fix this because number go up. Bitcoin fixes this because it promotes the change to the fiat hierarchical slave-based system. That is what Bitcoin fixes. And that is the one thing that whenever somebody gets into Bitcoin, they're like, oh, I'm going to turn 10,000 into 20,000. I'm like, no, you're going to turn 10,000 into a fucking, you're going to fix the situation. You're going to fix the entire, all of it with that 10 grand. That is it's not about number go up. It's about fix the problems that exist.
Oh, I think we can end it on that, man. Like that's it. It was great. This conversation was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Thank you,
too.
Dirt, for joining us today. We did talk about the mining conference. We didn't have a whole lot of time to do this on the show, but I want to give you two free tickets to the mining conference if you can make it out to Brainerd, Minnesota, September 27th through the 29th. We'd love to have you out there. If you can make it, come out with your honest, real self and tell people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, just provide a 6-pack up on stage because I'm gonna need it when I start trash talking.
All right. I'll tell the boss.
So we gotta end it, right?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Go.
Fix your shit. Get your life together. Get your fucking life together. Pile all your shit up. Get your fucking life together and go fuck yourself.
You heard it here first, guys. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, please comment, like, subscribe, leave us some feedback. We always enjoy that. Hit us up on Fountain, the biggest boost. Like we say, we're always going to shout you guys out on the show. We appreciate all the help growing this new podcast. It's been a wild ride. It's been a lot of fun. This has been the Build a Mind podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Please note, the Build a Mind podcast provides information for general educational purposes only. This information should not be construed as legal, financial, or investment advice. We do not guarantee the accuracy or completeness of any information presented, and we encourage you to consult with a professional advisor, legal advisor, and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The Build a Mind podcast and its affiliates are not responsible for any losses incurred as a result of using the information provided.